Hello, and welcome on the show here. Welcome along the show, and of course, welcome to this hour show of course, talk as well as some videos that we're going to be showing you as well. So, of course, bear in mind, of course, you might be seeing, a video that I sort of posted earlier, and I very quickly had time to piece it all together. And there you go, it's almost ready there. So yeah, that should be in the mix very soon. So yeah, of course, that'll be coming up very soon indeed. So yeah, I haven't really prepared for this, but of course it's definitely coming up very soon. So please be aware of that. And of course, we've got other things to discuss as well. Don't forget, of course, one of them is to check out the eBay shop. We need all the stuff that I mentioned in the previous live. If you didn't see the previous live, go and watch it now, because it's definitely well worth it, because, you know, I showed you a little bit more about the items that I had for sale in the eBay shop. And of course, you'll see most of the items still there in the eBay shop if you type in Touring with Nick C. Now, I've been a member on eBay since 2007, but it was Sloth 2007 that it was beforehand. But apparently, of course, I've got some breaking news here regards to trains here. Of course, I'm hoping that I can find a link somewhere along the lines. And of course, there is a train issue here. Let's see if I can find it somewhere at least. So yeah, it is a little bit annoying when I can't find it. And of course, yeah, it's really 100% annoying. No trains. There you go. Let me type this in. It's a bit fiddly here, so bear with me on this. It really is annoying when I can't get this right, and I lose it on the Facebook. It just disappears from you without even reading it. Right, okay. It's to do with no trains from, of course, Cambridge to King's Lynn. It's to do today, by the way, and I think it's because of an overhead wire here. There you go. Until further notice here, there we go. People travelling by train are facing disruption this afternoon, Tuesday, May 26th, 2026, obviously. Yeah. As all train lines between Cambridge and King's Lynn are currently blocked, according to Great Northern. Overhead electric wires between Cambridge and King's Lynn have been damaged, meaning trains are unable to run until further notice. This means some trains might be delayed, cancelled or revised. People are told to use alternative route to complete their journey. Okay, if you're planning on travel, you should leave up to an hour earlier to get to your destination. The disruption is expected to last until around about 4:30 p.m. this evening. So that is breaking news right this minute. Yeah, right this minute here, which you probably won't get so much on the mainstream media. Even Anglia News don't even mention it here in East Anglia. If you already bought a ticket, you can use it to travel on a range of different services at no extra cost. It includes, of course, alternative Great Northern services, Thameslink services via Cambridge and Peterborough, and, of course, Greater Anglia via Ely, Cambridge and Peterborough, cross country via Ely and Cambridge, and London Underground via London terminals. Rail replacement buses have been requested but are yet to be confirmed. This is up to date as far as we are aware here. Buses will be running between Cambridge and King's Lynn. and that is bus replacements here. To get more news on top stories delivered directly to your phone, join the new WhatsApp community here. So that's the latest as far as that is concerned. Okay, according to Cambridge News. Okay, so I presume that is the truth in terms of that. So, yeah, unfortunately, that is the scenario on that one. And we've got some other news of trains in just a little bit here, so please do stay with us here. I'm hoping that, of course, I'm able to post this on my site here. It's really, really annoying that I don't think we can give you the full link. It's, of course, link directly towards the Cambridge News.co.uk website. And, of course, yeah, there is other news as well. Let's have a look at this as well. According to Greater Anglia, and of course, new integrated rail and bus links open up Suffolk attractions this summer. New integrated rail and bus links open up summer attractions this time of the year, I presume, here in 2026. Visitors heading to Suffolk's coast this summer will actually apparently benefit from improved integrated public transport links connecting rail passengers arriving at Lowestoft station with some of the area's most popular tourist attractions, such as Pleasurewood Hills, Kensington Beach and Africa Alive. So from Tuesday the 26th of May 2026, enhanced bus connections, i.e. better connections, will make it apparently easier than ever for visitors travelling on the East Suffolk and Wherry lines, Ipswich to Lowestoft and Norwich to Lowestoft, to continue their journeys by bus directly from Lowestoft rail station, which is a lot easier here. The improvements actually is part of a wider collaborative effort between rail, bus and local authority partners to promote sustainable, convenient and affordable travel across the region. It also reflects the closer collaboration now being developed across the East Anglia's railway, following the creation of new unified leadership, bringing together Greater Anglia, C2C and the Network Rail Anglia to support more joined up journeys for passengers. Of course, services to, and this is very important as well, Pleasurewood Hills on the X1 route and the Africa Live and Kensington en route on the 99 will occasionally call at Lowestoft railway station, creating simple onward connections for rail passengers. Buses will operate every 30 minutes to and from the station throughout the day. The initiative also highlights the Plus Bus, the integrated rail and bus ticket, which includes travel to those destinations within the fare zone. Railcard holders can benefit from additional accounts on already low-cost Plus Bus tickets, making transport an even more attractive option for the families and day trippers as well. Visitors to Africa Live can also take advantage of a special offer this summer, with attraction reducing entry ticket prices by the value of customer Plus Bus ticket when purchased at the attractions ticket office. This effectively reimburses the cost of Plus Bus travel while still allowing unlimited bus travel within the Plus Bus zone on the day of the travel. The improvements reflect ongoing partnership to work to strengthen connectivity across the region and support sustainable tourism in East Suffolk. Martin Halliday, officer of the Wherry Lines Community Railway Partnership, said this: improved connectivity remains a key priority for the Wherry Lines of Community Rail Partnership. We began discussions of the first bus more than a year ago and how we could better promote integrated services in and around Lowestoft. So, yeah, lots of people have come out and spoke about this. Even director and marketing of Africa Live said, of course, who is Joshua Hunter Hull, said, we're delighted with the support of this initiative. helping us to make it easier and affordable for visitors to travel sustainably to Africa Live and enjoy everything the Suffolk coast has to offer. Improving transport for public connectivity is an important step in supporting sustainable tourism across the region, whilst also improving access for local communities and visitors travelling without a car. By working in partnership with Greater Anglia and First Bus and local stakeholders, we hope these enhanced connections will encourage more people to discover Africa Alive, support the local economy and inspire visitors to connect with wildlife and conservation, which is fantastic news here. And of course, Suffolk County Council Transport Head of Passenger Timothy Stevens says, "This is great news for Suffolk's coast and encouraging to see such a strong commitment to sustainable travel. Strengthening the links between rail services and key attractions like Pleasurewood Hills, Kessingland and Africa Live shows real ambition to make transport, as in public transport, a natural first choice for visitors. With buses timed to meet trains at Lowestoft Station, people can step off the railway network and continue their journey smoothly, confident without the stress of driving or parking," which is fantastic news. And Paul Martin, commercial manager of First Bus in East of England, finally said, "Of course, we are pleased to support our rail partners and the County Council for giving visitors an easy way to travel and enjoy local attractions. Our team is ready to welcome customers on board this summer for a quick and comfortable journey, which helps reduce traffic on local roads and the problems of congestion," which is brilliant news. Yeah, they need to do it over in this area as well. It's not just the attractions here. We don't have as much attractions as other people, and we need to build on that. And a lot of people seem to be going, to different other well-known attractions like Pleasurewood Hills and Africa Alive and all that kind of thing. It's all well and good, but of course we also need people to be able to be attracted to other parts of Suffolk, not just the places that are well known. So yeah, we do need to turn, for example, a small little town of Haverhill into not just a unique town but a tourist attraction. But how do we do that? That is the question that I'd like to ask Joe Mason, the councillor of Haverhill, who actually knows Nick Timothy, the actual local Conservative MP, which I've met recently at the Hive pub, no, not the Hive pub, the Epicentre, sorry. Where did I get Hive from? Of course, maybe that's an organisation that we don't know about. So, yeah, sorry about that. Let's go back to my mode here. And, of course, let's go to my media here. That's probably why, of course, you can't see me for a second. There we go. Of course, I'm back now. So I do apologise about that. So, yeah, of course, it is very interesting to say the least on that. If anybody has any questions in the meantime, feel free to, of course, please do get in touch with us here. We've had some people tuning in this afternoon here. We've been going for about 15 minutes here. We will take a break in just a little bit here. I've got ants all over me now. Where are they coming from? That wasn't meant to happen there. Abracadabra, I disappeared that. So, yeah, all over you. Did you see that ant was crawling on me? But anyway, on that note, of course, we want to say a huge thank you very much for anyone that is watching in this humid heat out there. It is going to get colder. Well, cooler and colder at the same time. Of course, I will give you the current week of, I would say, temperatures. And, of course, this is only for Haverhill. It might differ from where you are here. It's 32 degrees outside here. I can actually prove that to you right now, and I'll show you up on the screen here. There it is, 32 of course, Haverhill and Suffolk. And, of course, yeah, you can see what it's going to be throughout the whole day. That's according to the phone. And that is in West Suffolk. I'm going to have a drink and have a break in just a moment. But anyway, of course, it says a yellow warning for thunderstorm. These conditions started at 3 o'clock on Tuesday, the 26th of May 2026. My throat is getting dry. I do apologise about this. That's better. Oh dear. Don't know what that's all about. So I do apologise about it. So today is going to hit the heights of 33. The highest it has been, but probably last year was a little bit hotter. I'm sure it was. And Wednesday it's going to drop down to 24 degrees, which isn't too bad. It's going down slowly and then going up a little bit on Thursday to 26 degrees, starting at 12 degrees in the afternoon. Excuse me, I had to get out and about there. I'm going to have to get a glass of water here in just a moment. But Friday is going to be cloudy, 25 degrees. Apparently Saturday is going to be some thundery weather there at 26 degrees. We'll have to wait and see how that holds out here. We don't know for sure. It keeps changing on that note. And, of course, it's apparently going to get a little bit cooler next week and a little bit more cloudy out. So we've got to get most or make most of the sun, which, of course, we've been getting, but a little bit more stickier than usual. So, yeah, it's going to be best weather on Thursday and Friday, perhaps. And, of course, starting with Wednesday. And, of course, the starting temperature will be 13 degrees and then it will drop down to 26 degrees from the 33 degrees. So, yeah, of course, it will go up to 26 degrees on that day, obviously. But, of course, it is for maybe 10 degrees less than it has been. So, it's going to feel a little bit more comfortable. But yeah, of course, a lot of people will complain, but of course, yes. But everyone complains when it's cold as well, so there's no argument either way. But now we're going to go to, of course, hello, welcome to, of course, today's date, which is Tuesday, actually, the 26th of the 5th, which is May 2026, and you can clearly see on the screen here. I've got it down on the bottom of my screen, but you've got it up there somewhere. But of course, yeah, it is 35 minutes past 3, 15:35 in 24-hour clock mode. So, of course, yeah, you can still hear my voice as I pause it here. We're now going to cross over and continue that here. You might think I'm live, but I'm not. So I'm actually now going to use this as a bit of a break time here. It lasts for about 7 minutes here. Is when I get a chance to actually have a bit of a drink whilst I'm on air here, because, you know, it's quite a scorching heat behind the scenes here. So I did do this a little bit earlier. So, yeah, this is the word for today. United Christian Broadcasters word for today. 2 segments, 2 parts of that. So, brace yourself and enjoy. Now we're going to be talking about, of course, 2 parts of the UCB word for today, which is United Christian Broadcasters. Both radio stations you can check out, and it's based in Stoke-on-Trent. All primarily run by volunteers, and some are staff paid, obviously. But, of course, yeah, I don't know much about the station as far as that is concerned. I don't know the backgrounds of it. All I know is it is an online station that you can listen to at any time of the day, whether you're going to church or you're not a church believer at all whatsoever. So, yeah, I'm going to read some segments. Part 1 is this one here. You can pull down that stronghold, which is part number 1. And the subheadline is, the weapons of our warfare are mighty in God for pulling down strongholds. Now, of course, we'll start with this. Just as Jericho was a stronghold in Canaan, which is spelled Canaan, we have strongholds in our lives. And Paul wrote this very thing. The weapons of our warfare are mighty in God for pulling down strongholds, casting down arguments, and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of God. And that comes from verse 4 to 5 NKJV. A stronghold is an argument or a high thing that exalts itself from the knowledge of God. It's a conviction, outlook, or belief that attempts to interfere with the actual truth. A stronghold is a false premise that denies God's promise. It sets itself up against the knowledge of God, verse 5 NIV. It attempts to magnify the problem and minimize God's ability to actually solve it. Does a stronghold have a stronghold for you? That is the question out there. Do you speak the language? The stronghold of guilt. I could never forgive that person. The stronghold of resentment. Bad things always happen to me. The stronghold of self-pity. I have to be in charge. The stronghold of pride. I don't deserve to be loved. The stronghold of rejection. I never recover. The stronghold of defeat. I must be good or God will reject me. The stronghold of performance. I'm only as good as I look. The stronghold of appearance. My value equals my possessions. The stronghold of my materialism. Yep, that's materialism. Many Christians don't even recognize the strongholds in their lives. But you don't have to be among them. God has given you the weapons of prayer, scripture, and the name of Jesus, the blood of Jesus, fellowship, etc. And collectively, they have divine power to demolish strongholds. That's verse 4 NIV. And that's the end of part number 1. And of course, we brace ourselves for part number 2. In this section, we're going to be talking about resurrecting your dream. So resurrect your dream, for God does speak in a dream. God is the giver of dreams, for God does speak in a dream, in a vision, when deep sleep falls on people. And that comes from verse 14 to 15 NIV. Unless you want to spend the rest of your life being unfulfilled and uninspired, take your dreams of, out of the closest and blow off the dust. It is easy to get caught up in the have-tos in life, which is the have-tos in, of course, brackets there. Working and caring for children, spouses and aging parents, and taking care of homes, etc. But you must believe, you must believe that you can resurrect your life and your dreams, and believe you have the ability to tap into the enthusiasm you once felt in life, or for life. You must have the courage to face the disappointments of the past. Take a good look at how you got off the path and see where you are headed. Then you have to silence the voice in your head that says, you have to silence this, remember. This is all there is. Who are you to want more in life? You can't do it. Because we think that's what grown-ups are supposed to actually do. But as we mature, we realise that reaching our dreams is what makes us feel alive. And the truth is, with love, prayer and great attention, your dream, like Lazarus, can be resurrected. See John chapter 11 to 43. That's verse 43. The secret of recapturing dreams is to enjoy the pursuit of the dream rather than focus on the actual outcome. Achievement in this case is not about position, fame, or financial compensation, but doing what you really love. That's what Jesus promised. I am come that they might have life and have it more abundantly. And that's John chapter 10 verse 10 KJV. Okay, that's the end of the 2 parts for the word for today. And it's back now to the show, of course, if you can keep up with the scorching heat that we have here in Maytime. It's apparently going to cool down as of Wednesday, and then go back up again, and then of course it's going to go around in an endless loop, and then we get fed up with it, and then of course we get used to it again, and of course the cycle just goes in an endless loop, and then I can't really stop my words on that note. But of course we go back to the show. Of course, if you can stay awake for it, whatever time you're watching in the day, and wherever you are watching across the entire world. And as we always say, I know I'm saying this before the end of the show, we promise to keep that positivity for you, and always God bless to you as well. It's now back to the show. Okay, of course, we are back here, and I'm still using that radio mic here. I don't know how far it will actually stretch, but of course, yeah. Notice the clearness of the actual camera is a lot clearer now than it actually would be. But anyway, of course, a massive hello to anyone that is watching absolutely anywhere. We really do appreciate your time watching this. Something to note here about the Haverhill Library here, which is an open space here every Friday. Sorry, I can't in my throat here. There's too much gassy stuff in it. But yeah, I had to have a drink, by the way. Whether it's a cold drink or not, I don't know. Hopefully, of course, all the ants have disappeared now. But anyway, the open space of Haverhill Library is situated in Haverhill itself in Suffolk, in East Anglia, in the UK. Every Friday from 1 p.m. till 3 p.m. So if you're in and around Haverhill, please do come down to Haverhill, and of course be interested in what keeps us well. A safe space to listen, chat and think. I might even think about having a look at that. It sounds very interesting, and it's on every Friday from 1 till 3 p.m. And of course contribute your views and ideas and board games, puzzles and crafts provided. Find out about local events and resources. Sounds lovely. And of course tea and coffee, biscuits are provided, which is good, and run in partnership with the Julian Support and Suffolk Mind, which is a lovely little event to go towards. And I'd love to find out a little bit more about this, as I found this leaflet somewhere along the lines here. But yeah, anyway, of course, I am live. I'd love to continue on with the show here. How long have we been going on for? It does say on the clock here about half an hour. So we've got about half an hour left here. So yeah, I'm just looking out my window here. I don't know, of course, if I'm able to show you the camera. If I move it around slowly, I might get away with it. But yeah, here we go. Of course, you can. So yeah, I do apologise about that when it just freezes like that. So yeah, if I can bring it back to the camera again, there you go. You can basically see, maybe in zoom, maybe it won't do it. You can see of the weather here. If I slowly show you the sky here, there it is, and of course you can see what it's like outside my window here in this scorching heat. I just wanted to show that to everyone here. Okay, and of course if I bring the camera around, it might freeze in just a moment, so I do apologise about that if that happens. And sometimes it does. So I'm going to have to zoom back. Oh, I'm too close there. And it's back to me now. So, yeah, luckily that didn't freeze or froze or whatever you like to call it. So it's back to the show here. And now we're going to go across to another section here. Hello! No, I've already done that one, so I'm going to have to close that one. Yeah, that's the music. So, yeah. Maybe I should use that music in the background actually, as a little bit of a background. I don't know if I can. There we go. Of course. Okay, of course. It's paused at the moment here, and I just want to do a running commentary right now before I go on to talk about other things like events going around, of course, the east of England, that kind of thing. So, yeah, we're just looking at an apartment here. You can see a TV is in place here. And this is the apartment that I actually went to. And I went to this locational area here. And I'm going to do the running commentary and show you a little bit around here, because I'm only doing this exclusively to the channel here. And you will get this nowhere else here. Thursday, March the 19th of 2026 at 8:33 a.m. And I think it was the last morning before I left. So, of course, I can tell you that this place here, before I go on, I'd like to say that this place was right up the top there, and it was really hard work getting my big case up the stairs, 2 flights, maybe 3 flight of stairs there. Next time I'll get the bottom flat floor, which is so much easier than the top floor. Okay. So, yeah, hopefully we'll be able to show you a little bit more here. The music stopped now. So, yeah, let's bring back the music if we can. Yeah, it only lasts about 3 minutes anyway, so yeah, there we go. So, yeah, let's have a look around as the camera pans around here. You can see it's got a dining table there. I'll turn the music down so you can actually hear me there a little bit here. Yeah, I don't know if you can still hear the music at the same time as me. But there is a radiator there for winter times, and a lovely sofa there, I've just got to say there. And it's got a kitchen facility there. And bear in mind that this actual clock is not actually on time, and I think it is a clock that has actually stopped. Yeah, lovely paintings on the wall that I've noticed. I do like that decoration there of the butterfly, and there's about 3 butterflies I think there is, and there's some blinds there, and a lovely bit of painting there, and of course some paintings on that side as well. It's also got a dustpan brush, which is quite useful as well. And a place where you can actually dry your clothes as well. Makes you really feel like you're in a Havebury or just in your own sort of individual home, apart from the 3 flights, trying to get the word here, free flight of stairs. Sorry, it's hot here, so do excuse me. So those are the doors that I'm just pointing out there, and there is a lampshade there. That door is the main door that you go in, and this is the main bedroom here, and the light does work here. I did find that thanks to Panda. Big shout out to Panda, she knows who she is. So yeah, we look out the door here, and this is how high the actual stairs were. Wow, that is quite some big steep lot of stairs there. Of course, 3 stories high, and room number 4, flat number 4, and you obviously get 1 key for it each time, and you book it on booking.com. And this is the main bedroom here. I do hope that you can see a bit more further details of that. And of course, yeah, we're going to go through into the main lounge part here in more detail here. And yeah, of course, I remember these lovely little paintings here, I've got to say. And also, the fact that, of course, I had to open the window because I didn't realise there was a smoke alarm there. It's my fault, really, and of course, I've got to remember that for next time if there's a smoke alarm around. There's a washing machine. Sorry, my heat again at this sort of temperature making me, of course, make mistakes here. And it's got a warning here, of course, pierce the skin of the foods and blah blah blah. And this is the main boiler, which of course you hope that never goes wrong, but ends up going wrong sometimes. Like anything just doesn't last long. and that's the main clock, and it tells you the instructions on how to use it. So that's quite interesting there. It does have a microwave, and this is the open window here, and this is pretty much the view here. And of course, these are the chairs here. They're quite tight though, I've got to say that. But the window was open, so I was able to do some cooking. And of course, opening the window does help. And this is the view that I get here. Not great, but of course the seaside is not far from there anyway. And of course you've got your cupboards. See what's in there. Of course, nothing much apart from my, I would say, coffee. And there's not much in there. It's just, of course, a fan there of some kind there. And if I look in this cupboard here, what you'll get is some cups here and other things as well. And in this cupboard here, well, actually, of course, these are the utensils, like your knife and forks, and well, of course, all the stuff that you need. But the main knife and forks are in the actual drawers, which you'll see in a bit. So yeah, this is the knife and forks here, laid up beautifully there. That's what you get with it. And the frying pan hobs if you need them, and nothing in that one, or maybe saucepans actually. Yeah, of course, lots in the way of saucepans, which of course are good facilities to have. It's also got a cooker, and these are the hobs there. And yeah, I'll never forget that time when, of course, the alarm went off. Unfortunately, I didn't get that on film. This is the main fridge, by the way. These are the stuff that I did have. I had myself some butter and some milk there. And of course, this is the main fridge inside there. Nothing complimentary in there. You have to bring your own stuff. It is a self-catering area, and you can just about see the sink there, and I was doing a lot of washing up there. And the only way to sweep up, you have to do it yourself, basically. And yeah, basically, that's it, really. So yeah, unfortunately, of course, we ran out of tape on that one, but there is probably a little bit more of that. But of course, yeah, I just wanted to show you the main part of that, and hopefully I'll be able to piece that all up together as a whole, so you can see the shower part of it there. You only saw a little bit of the bedroom room there. I did have a window in the bedroom. You did have a fan as well, which you probably didn't really see much, but of course you had to plug it in. And yeah, it is self-catering, which means you have to buy your own stuff. But you can eat out if you wanted to save cooking inside. But if you wanted to cook one day, you've got the facilities to do that. That's what you think when you go to a self-catering area. You think, well, basically, I've got this facilities here, might as well make the use of it here. So why not use the self-catering facilities? That's what I thought at that point of going in that apartment. And hopefully next time I'll get the bottom floor. If I can't do that, I'll have to go back to St George's Hotel, which is a fantastic hotel, by the way. And of course, I was streaming it live from there a lot of times. I don't have, unfortunately, any latest pictures of that. Although, of course, I have got the previous pictures and videos of course, what I was cooking in the microwave. Yeah, the microwave, which is what I was cooking, like the spaghetti bolognese. And I always like to shove a bit of butter on it to give it a little bit of flavour, because I don't have oil or anything like that when I'm on holiday. And of course they did change the microwave around in that room number 4, I believe it was, the same room as my flat number 4 of the apartment, which is just up the road from that area. And I would say this now, they moved the array around the refrigerator, and of course just above it is the TV, and it did have a double bed in that room as well. How fascinating is that? So yeah, of course, I'm just checking the time now. We have had a little bit of a break here, So thank you very much to anyone that has tuned in at any one time. It really, really means a lot. 41 minutes on the clock so far. Of course, we've got about just under 20 minutes before we close the show. But we are now going to go and speak a little bit more about, of course, some of the events, if I can find any events that are available. Before, of course, I talk about other events. And, of course, I've just had the latest here from Greater Anglia here. If there's any latest news that comes up during the lives, then I will tell you straight away. In terms of the Greater Anglia trains, disruption caused by a fault with the signalling system earlier at Cambridge has now ended. Services are no longer affected by this problem. So, of course, due to a fault with the signalling system at Cambridge, trains have to run at reduced speed on some lines. Train services running through this station may be cancelled or delayed or revised. And disruption is expected until further notice, which is good. So, yeah, I don't know who this caller is, so I'm going to have to pause it for a second. Well, I got a phone call, which I don't even know who it was. Yeah, I think it was a computerised voice. I didn't even know who it was. So I'll delete that one. I didn't even know who it was. So, yeah, isn't it strange? You get these calls and you don't know who they are half of the time. But, yeah, isn't it fascinating here? By the way, there's an app called Too Good To Go, which, of course, is very, very good for those people who are trying to save food waste at all whatsoever with certain locations. And I probably need to get this app again. And, of course, it's barbecue season. Boogie or a classic barbecue, steak or burgers, corn or grilled veg. However you grill, rescue grocery, surprise bags from Morrison's and Asda as you run your barbecue like a pro. So they are encouraging people to use barbecues only if you're allowed to do it in your garden. And if you are living in a Haysbury, they probably won't allow you to do it for some reason. I don't know, maybe health and safety reasons. But, you know, it's difficult when you are in that sort of circumstances. It really, really is, unless you've got a bungalow, which is literally just outside your little area. So Too Good To Go is very good for saving waste, and I might download it once more. Too Good To Go, which of course I found out on a talk program, which of course Petri Hoskins was hosting, and a caller came in and of course mentioned it, and of course it was the first time I knew about it. So yeah. Let's continue. Continue with Apple here, because I've got to basically sign in again because I deleted the app and I wanted to start up again. The problem is with that is that, of course, you could actually save food waste and then suddenly it could run out at the last minute. That can be very, very annoying. So, yeah. If you use your current location, let's see what, of course, I have in my area, for example. The only one is Wakefield. I don't even think that's current location. Let's go for current location. That might help a little bit. So let's see what there is available. And Co-op Grocery Brag. Where is that, by the way? Of course, that's in Colchester, but it's not very much in the way of course, well, I think they were popular today, but of course, be interesting. But you can't really do that. Check again tomorrow in the morning there. Usually about £3.50 for a Costa coffee, but of course, yeah, you'll have to just check again a little bit later on to see if there's anything for tomorrow. But that's the chance you've got to take, of course. Sometimes it's there for you and sometimes it's not, and of course they can cancel you at the last minute, which is very, very annoying for that sort of aspect here. So Too Good To Go is very good to save food waste, but sometimes it's cancelled because they haven't got enough food. I kind of find that very fascinating because they've got loads of food in there and they're cancelling it maybe deliberately. I don't know on that one. So, of course, I'd have to get in touch with Too Good To Go on that one. Just been told here, Family Practice of Haverhill, important update here, have changed their online consultant provider from eSalt to Accure X. Okay. So, yeah. Right, okay, they're changing over, and that's what it's all about. So, yeah, I do look at the We Love East Anglia, formerly known as, which is now East Anglia Uncensored channels, and of course Haverhill UK Uncensored and Cambridge UK Uncensored, all on Facebook. And of course, yes, let's have a look at other news as well. Of course, I've got final photos, which you can probably see there, of Great Yarmouth, and of course you can see that on the, of course, East Anglia Uncensored group, which looks very similar to this. If you want to check that group out, please do join it. There you go, East Anglia Uncensored. Please do join that. And of course, I am admin of that group. So yeah, lots about the Starview Medical Centre now being sort of renovated as a cafe, which is fantastic news for anyone that wants to support the cafe. It's brilliant news, and of course, yeah, I've got happy memories of the Starview. Unfortunately, one of the social groups has now finished, but that's just one of those things, isn't it? So let's see if I can get you anything from the Starview Medical Centre. But yeah, it's somewhere along the lines. I'm sure it's on there. Yeah, it's the Tree House Cafe, it's called. And it's now open from Monday to Friday, and they're due to be open on a Saturday as well. But of course, I can't confirm that until we get told about that. And of course, we've got the lovely menu here, which of course a latte, a cappuccino would cost around about £2.50, which is quite reasonably priced. It's a lot cheaper than Costa Coffee, so that will be a good competition for that one. But they are only open till about 3 o'clock. That's the only problem about that. Hot chocolate is £2.50, all £2.50. Fruit tea, red berries and chamomile and peppermint, all for £2. Yorkshire tea for £2. Yorkshire tea, which is quite rare. And cold, and of course iced, which is iced latte for £2.80. Iced matcha, I thought it's a matcha, but it's a matcha, £2.50. And cold cans £1.50, which is not bad. That's reasonable price. And juice bottles, orange, apple, blackcurrant £1.20. And mini milkshakes £1.20. Bottled water £1.50. And tap water is actually free in this locational area. And savoury bites, which is the lumberjack ham and cheese. Choose between panini and sandwich of available on Quest. All served with a side salad and crisps, which sounds lovely. And Riverbank melt, of course, tuna mayonnaise and cheese. So the lumberjack is £4.50. Ham and cheese, Riverbank melt, which is tuna mayonnaise mayonnaise, and cheese, which is £4.75, and garden melt, which is vegan cheese and tomato, sounds lovely, for £4.50, and campfire chicken, which is chicken, cheese and lettuce with barbecue sauce and mayonnaise, £4.75, and lighter bites, brown bag crisps, which is smoked bacon, £1.60, and Walker's crisps, salt and vinegar, cheese and onion, which is £1.20. Sausage roll served warm, which is £2.50, which sounds lovely, and chocolate lay bananas biscuits, which is £1.80. Cake of the day, £1.50. Anything else that you need to know? Of course, Little Explorers, of course, snack box, which is £3.50. Choose between jam, ham, and cheese sandwiches, which is crisps and biscuits, and fruit snack, fresh fruit, and choice of your fruit shoot, and milkshake or water to drink. £1.50 for sandwich, ham, cheese, and jam, and mini gingerbread man, which is £1.50. So, is there anything else that you need to know? Of course, bubble waffles, of course, Forest Berry Nest, which is £6.50, strawberries and Nutella, and Woodland Oreo Crunch, which is 1 crumble, white chocolate drizzle, which is £7, and Monkey's Canopy Treat, which is £6.50, banana toffee sauce and chocolate flakes, and of course Campfire Brownie Melt, which is brownie chunks, milk chocolate and ice cream, £7, and Jungle Kinder Bliss, which is £7, Kinder chocolate and chocolate drizzle, and build your own, choose from any sauce and 2 toppings, £7, and build your own toppings on strawberries, Oreo crumble, banana chocolate flakes, and brownie chunks, and Kinder pieces and sprinkles. Sauces are milk chocolate and white chocolate and Nutella and toffee. Waffle sticks are berry forest sticks, £3, strawberries, mixed berries, and white chocolate drizzle. £3, which is banana grove, banana slices, and milk chocolate drizzle, and Campfires S'mores, which is SMORES, £3.50 for chocolate sauce, marshmallows, and biscuit crumb. And toffee trail mix is £3, and of course toffee sauce fudge pieces. Oreo crunch, £3.50. Oreo crumble white chocolate drizzle, that's for £3.50. And sprinkle safari, which is £3, chocolate sauce and rainbow sprinkles. Unicorn forest, which is £3, and white chocolate, marshmallows, and sprinkles, and build your own, £3.50. And choose from any sauce and 2 toppings. That is the menu for that one. There might be, of course, a final little menu here, of course. Something else need a little extra support, like ordering from the menu. You can actually choose the support that feels right for you. Okay, so there you go. Financial support to help with budgeting bills, benefits, or managing money worries. Mental health and well-being. Of course, a friendly chat, emotional support, and guidance to access further help, and family and relationship support, guidance around family challenges, caring responsibilities, or relationship concerns. And number 4, social and community support, help to get out and about, attend groups, or feel more connected. And number 5, health and lifestyle support, and support with healthy routines, smoking, drugs, and alcohol, and general well-being. And something else, number 6 there, if you're not sure what you need, let us know. They're here to listen. Treehouse Cafe, allergy and dietary information. At the Treehouse Cafe, your safety and enjoyment is really important to them, and understand that allergies and dietary needs can be serious, and they are here to help you make safe and informed choices. So, allergy awareness. If you have any food allergies, intolerances, or dietary requirements, please speak to a member of staff or team before placing your order. Of course, that requires in any restaurant there. They're always do their best to guide you through the menu and suggest suitable options. And important information now, whilst we take every care in preparing food, our kitchen handles a variety of ingredients, including common allergens such as nuts, gluten, dairy, eggs, soy, and sesame. And we cannot guarantee that any item is completely free from these traces or allergens. Cross-contamination may occur during preparation. Need more details? Of course, they have allergen information available from the menu items. Just ask a member of the team and they will be happy to help. Their promise, of course, they will take your concerns seriously and be honest and transparent about ingredients, support you in making the safest choice for you, and please don't hesitate to ask. So no question is too small, your safety matters to them. So yeah, that's all of the menu for the Treehouse Cafe. A place to grow, connect and belong, which is fantastic. That's at the Starview Medical Centre, the former medical centre of Haverhill, just next to the car park, next to the bus station of Haverhill in East Anglia in the UK. So it's definitely well worth coming along to just for that. Scorching temperatures here. So, of course, maybe I should talk a little bit about hot weather advice, if there's any research there. I'm sure there is. Right, okay, hot weather advice, okay. Stay safe in hot weather. Keep out of the sun between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. Stay hydrated by drinking plenty of water and keep your home cool by closing curtains on sunny windows. And, of course, stay cool and hydrated. Drink up and, of course, drink plenty of fluids and avoid excess alcohol or caffeine. Clothing, wear light-coloured, loose clothing and wide-brimmed hat and sunglasses. Okay, and sunscreen, apply at least PSF 30 plus sunscreen regularly when outdoors. Pets and people, never leave infants, children or pets close parked cars as well. And keeping your home cool. Shade windows, close curtains and blinds on sun-facing windows during the day. Ventilate at night, keep windows closed during the hot daylight hours, but open them in evenings when the outside air cools down. Electric fans, only use a fan indoor if the temperature is below 35 degrees. Do not point it directly at your skin to prevent dehydration. Okay, and of course, health and heat warnings. Be aware, knowing the warning signs of heat exhaustion, dizziness, nausea and heavy sweating and heat stroke, confusion, high body temperature, no sweating. Check on others. Keep an eye on older neighbours, relatives or those with underlying health conditions who may struggle to stay cool. And local alerts, official or view official UK HSA heat health alerts and advice tailored to your region on the Met Office and the gov.uk websites. Okay, so of course it might tell you additional websites here. Right, okay, this is according to the government website here, so time is running out, so I've quickly got to mention this here, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you very much indeed for sticking with us here at this, of course, exhausting heat that we're all going through here, which is at least 33 or 32 degrees here in Haverhill anyway. So according to the website, who's this guidance for? The guidance provides advice for anyone on how to stay safe during hot weather. Anyone can become unwell if they get too hot. However, some people are at high risk of becoming seriously unwell. It is important to follow this guidance so that you prepare for the hot weather and can take action to cool yourself and your home. Actions you can take to stay safe in hot weather. While many people enjoy warmer summer weather, hot weather can cause some people to become unwell through overheating, becoming uncomfortably hot, dehydration and heat exhaustion and heat stroke. If you're going to do a physical activity, for example, exercise or walking the dog, plan to do these things during the times of the day when it is cooler, such as early morning or in the evening. Keep your home cool by closing windows and curtains in rooms that face the sun. Drink plenty of fluids and limit your intake of alcohol. A lot of people want to do beers in the pub to try and cool down. It's not always a great idea for that. Check on family, friends and neighbours who may be higher risk of becoming unwell. And if you are at high risk, ask them to do the same for you. Okay, and know the symptoms of heat exhaustion and heat stroke and what to do if you or someone else has them. Try to avoid direct sunlight, especially between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. unless UV levels are highest. Of course, if you are going out during this time, cover up with suitable clothing. Wear a wide brim hat and sunglasses. Seek shade and apply sunscreen liberally and reapply frequently. About the hot weather, of course, and health. Of course, climate change is already causing warmer temperatures in the UK. All of the warmest years on record in the UK have occurred since 2002. 2002, which is 2002. And in July 2022, this time, temperatures exceed 40 degrees Celsius for the first time on record. It's estimated that 2,803 people aged 65 or over died due to the heat in England 2022, and it is predicted that the number of heat-related deaths per year may triple up to by, of course, 2050. Hot weather can increase the risk of heart attack, stroke or lung problems and other diseases. Older people, babies and young children are more likely to be unwell from hot weather because their bodies are less able to regulate the temperature. People with underlying medical conditions can also be vulnerable to the effects of the hot weather. Many of the harms linked to heat exposure are preventable if a few simple actions are taken. During the summer, UK HSA will work with the Met Office to issue alerts alongside the weather forecast if the weather is too hot and that it has potential to affect people's health. And we'll help you to take steps to protect yourself and others. People at higher risk of becoming unwell in hot weather. Now, of course, we talk about that very, very quickly. Anyone can become unwell when the weather is hot. People who are at higher risk of becoming seriously ill include, of course, older people aged 65 or over. Note the change from the previous guidance of 75 years of age and above. Babies and young children at age 5 years and under. People with underlying health conditions, and particularly heart problems, breathing problems, and dementia, diabetes, kidney disease, and Parkinson's disease, or mobility problems. Pregnant women and people on certain medications, people with serious mental health problems, people who are already ill and dehydrated, for example, from diarrhea and vomiting, and people who experience drug or alcohol dependence. People who are physically active and spend a lot of time outside, such as runners, cyclists and walkers. People who work in jobs that require manual labour or extensive time outside. People experiencing homelessness, including rough sleepers, and those who are unable to make the adaptations to their living accommodations, such as sofa surfers or living in hostels. And people who live alone and may be unable to care for themselves. You should continue taking all of your prescribed medicines unless advised not to by a medical professional. If you have any health concerns, please call NHS 111 for some medications need to be stored below 25 degrees Celsius or in a fridge following the storage instructions on the packaging. Check in with anyone you think might be at risk and see if they need any help. Okay, we'll just quickly do this one here before we finish up here, because Time is the enemy, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for everyone that is tuned in. Please do subscribe to us if you haven't already here. Please do ask us any questions along the way, even if you're watching live or on the replay. We really, really do appreciate everybody's time here. And don't forget, of course, before I read on here about the heat exhaustion here, which is what my next section is, please do go to my eBay section here to purchase any items here. And hopefully when it's cooler, I'm able to, of course, distribute some items should people be interested in purchasing anything here on the eBay account. Now back to the show, which is the heat exhaustion and heat stroke. Heat exhaustion occurs when the body overheats and cannot cool down. Heat exhaustion does not usually need medical emergency attention if you cool down within 30 minutes. If you do not take action to cool down, heat exhaustion can lead to a heat stroke. The common symptoms of heat exhaustion include tiredness, weakness, feeling faint, headache, muscle cramps, feeling or being sick, and heavy sweating and intense thirst, which of course can be one of them there. And of course heat stroke is where the body is no longer able to cool down and the body temperature becomes dangerously higher. The common symptoms of heat stroke include confusion, lack of coordination, fast heartbeat, fast breathing, shortness of breath, and hot skin that is not sweating, and seizures. Heat stroke is a medical urgency, urgency or emergency if you like. If you think someone has heat stroke, you should dial 999 and then try to cool them down if you can. You can find out more about the symptoms of heat exhaustion on the nhs.co.uk. Sorry, the nhs.uk is the website for that. Okay, just of course, it's very interesting. I'll go right away to the end because it's got some important information that I must really talk you through today. How to cool down, of course, in temperatures, which is scorching heat here. How to cool down if you or someone else has symptoms of heat exhaustion. Move to a cooler place such as a room with air conditioning or somewhere in the shade. Avoid direct sunlight. Remove all unnecessary clothing like a jacket or socks. Drink cool water, a sports or rehydration drink, or eat cold and water-rich foods like ice lollies. Apply cool water by spray or sponge to exposed skin, and using cold packs wrapped in a cloth and put under the armpits or on the neck can also help. Okay, hopefully you understand all that. Yeah, so apply cool water by spray or sponge to expose skin using cold packs wrapped with a cloth but put under the armpits or on the neck can also help. You should start to cool down and feel better within 30 minutes. If you're concerned about any symptoms or they are worsening, seek medical advice by contacting NHS 111 in emergency, or if you think someone has a heat stroke yet again, of course that number is 999 for emergencies. Be prepared for hot weather. It is important to follow the advice in this guidance to be prepared for hot weather. This is particularly important if you are high risk of becoming seriously unwell. You can prepare and do it this way here. To prepare, you can. Number one, of course, listen to news and check your local weather forecasters so you know when hot weather is actually expected. And number two, when hot weather is expected, plan your activities for early morning and evening when it is usually cooler. And number three, look out advice on what to do if services such as power, water supplies and transport is likely to be affected. And number four, check air pollution forecasts and advice, as air pollution can become worse during the hot weather and cause problems for people with asthma and other breathing problems. And still, of course, stay well is a very important one when there is hot weather. There are many things you can do to prevent yourself from overheating when weather is too hot. If you are to get too hot, or if you do get too hot, It is important to give your body a break from the heat and take actions that will help you cool down, which, of course, there is a link here, which, of course, I'll show you just here. There is a link just there somewhere. I don't know if you can see that very well. That's the link just there. It's not very clear, but, of course, you can make it out. To prevent dehydration, drink fluids regularly throughout the whole day, especially if you are physically active. You should drink enough that your pee is pale straw colour. Water, undiluted squash or low-fat milks are good choices. Fruit juices, smoothies and soft drinks can be high in sugar, which dehydrates the body. Limit the amount of fruit juice and smoothies that you drink, and swap sugary soft drinks for diet, sugar-free and no added sugar varieties. If you're going out, take a refillable bottle filled with water. Take extra water for journeys on public transport or by car. Alcohol has a dehydrating effect on the body, so it is a good idea to choose alcohol-free option or alternative alcohol drinks with a glass of water. If you are fasting during a heat wave, it is important to drink enough to adequately hydrate before you fast and follow the guidance on keeping cool and preventing dehydration. People with underlying health conditions should seek medical advice before fasting. You can find more information on the signs and symptoms of dehydration on the nhs.co.uk. Sorry, that .co.uk is, of course, not what it is, nhs.uk. Do apologise yet again. So, of course, very, very important here, protect yourself from the sun. Sun is often strong enough in the UK to cause sunburn even when it is cloudy. Babies and children's skin is more sensitive and are particularly at risk of skin damage from the sun. Take the following actions to protect yourself from the sun. Try to stay in the shade between 11 a.m. till 3 p.m. as I previously said earlier, when UV levels at highest. Wear lightweight, loose-fitting, light-covered clothes such as long sleek shirts, trousers, or long skirts in close weave fabrics. Wear a wide-brimmed hat to protect your face, eyes, and head and ears and neck. Wear sunglasses which are wrapped around or with wide arms to protection from the sun. Okay, and of course apply sunscreen generously and reapply frequently after or especially after activities that remove it, such as swimming and toweling. The NHS recommends that this should be with a sun protection factor SPF for at least 30 or 4 or 5 star ultraviolet A UVA protection. So you can find out more information on the sunscreen and sun safety, including how to apply sunscreen on nhs.uk. Said it right this time. Limit strenuous physical activity. If you can, limit the amount of strenuous physical activity that you do during the hottest part of the day. Check weather forecast to see when it will be cooler. Where possible, plan to do physical activities during the early morning or evening when it is cooler. Children should not take part in strenuous activities on very hot days. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, okay. Goodness me. Okay, sorry about the sound there. So, yeah, ensure children in prams and pushchairs are shaded by using a parasol, and make sure there is adequate airflow. Remove any excess clothing and check on them regularly to make sure that they are not overheated. And you can find out more information on keeping your baby safe in the sun on nhs.co. Sorry, I'll say it again. nhs.uk. Yeah, just got a few more to read to you, then we've got to go now. But of course, yeah, we're nearly there. Avoid hot closed spaces. Small closed spaces such as stationary cars can get dangerously hot very, very quickly. Make sure that babies, children and older people and pets are not left alone in stationary cars or other closed spaces. Ensure that children in prams or pushchairs are using shaded by their parasols. Okay, so it's now time for keeping your home cool. Homes can overheat and become uncomfortable during the warmer weather, particularly when you are trying to sleep. Take the following steps to cool your home down. Close blinds and curtains on windows that are exposed to direct sunlight during the day. Close external shutters and shades if you have them, and move to a cooler part of the house, especially for sleeping. Open windows if it is safe to do so. Only if it's safe to do so. When the air feels cooler inside, for example at night, and try to get the air flowing through your home. Use electric fans if the air temperature is hitting below 35 degrees. Do not aim the fan to be directly at your body, as this could lead to dehydration. Check that the heating is turned off. Turn off the lights and electrical equipment that are not in use, and go outside if it is cooler outside in the shade. Public buildings such as places of worship and local libraries and supermarkets may be cooler than your home. If they are nearby, considering visiting one of these places as a way of cooling down. Interesting. And stay safe when swimming as well. Swimming pools, rivers and lakes or sea can be a fun way to cooling down when the weather is hot. However, summer months can also be associated with an increase of drowning accidents. The following advice can help keep you safe when swimming. Always look out for warnings and guidance signs. Only enter the water with lifeguard cover. Never enter the water after drinking alcohol. Very important to that one. Wear a buoyancy aid or a life jacket if you are doing any activity out on the water or at the water's edge, such as boating or fishing. Be aware that open water can be much cooler than it looks, which can lead to cold water shock. Get out of the water as soon as you start to feel cold. Interesting there. So, yeah, interesting on that one. I do like the sound of that one. And swim parallel to the shore or with the shore, not away from it. Always go swimming with someone else so that you can help each other out. Check SwimFo to look up details of a designated bathing water quality by name or location. And take extra care to protect yourself from UV when swimming. When the cooling effect of the water may provide a false sense of safety, and UV levels are stronger due to the surface reflections. Cover as much skin as possible, apply water-resistant sunscreen and reapply regularly. To find out more information, safe swimming on the Royal Life Saving Society, RLSS, for more information. It's all on the gov.uk website. And finally, of course, more support and information. This is important to remember to take care of your mind as well as your body, and to get support when you actually need it. There are sources of support and information that actually can help. Every Mind Matters, which is a link on the gov.uk, that actually provides a lot of useful information. Your local council can also provide advice if you are concerned about a friend, neighbour or family member who needs additional support. All right, okay, that says it quite plainly there. Do take extra care when, of course, you're out and about, and of course, especially in swimming areas there. Make sure there is a life support there, lifeguard that can actually help you if there's any danger there. That is why certain places have security cameras in case anything does happen. But yeah, it is a great way to stay cool. Of course, the good advice is if it does get cold in a pool, come out very, very quickly. So yeah, a good advice on that one there, according to the Gov website. So preferably don't go near a river or lake or seaside resort, because I know someone in the past that actually went on holiday and drank a lot of alcohol, and we never saw that guy again. his name was Porter back in the Havel days, and of course he went and drank alcohol, and of course it didn't agree with his swimming there. He was supposed to be watching the football match, but ended up, of course, being lost in the sea. And of course they did found the body, I think, so they knew it was that guy. But anyway, of course, do take extra care when you're going to the coast and all that kind of thing. Let's hope it all cools down a little bit, which hopefully it will do, because it is starting hot in here.